Hello friends and welcome back. Today I bring you a tour of a gardener friend that I've met recently, and she's been kind enough to open up her home and her garden to show us what she's growing here. Okay, so I'm sitting here with Andrea. And can you tell us a little bit about you and your garden? How long have you been gardening in this place?
I've been gardening here since 2018.
And I see that you've put in a lot of earthworks in here. So how often do you get out into the garden?
I won't say every day, but at least 3 to 4 days a week. Sometimes it's just to come out for 5 minutes, like, you know, just to do one thing. But I try to make time at least 3 to 4 days a week.
3 to 4 days a week. I'd say that I'm in the garden almost every day, but that's just me because I'm always picking something, or if I see a weed, I'm just picking it every day, you know?
Well, I'd like to, but in my age, sometimes it becomes physically impossible.
I can understand that.
Bad knees, bad back, bad hips. So
great. So let's see around your garden and show us what you're growing this year. So we're gonna start at the front, and this is your herb garden, I see.
Yes.
You have a lot going in here.
Yes. This is basil.
This is really tall basil.
Yes, I bought this from a company called Bloombox, and this is emerald. These are emerald towers.
Oh, I've heard about this one, and it goes like really, like
Yes.
tower, like
Yes.
versus
So-
like the Genovese, which is a little unruly, right?
Yes. So I wanted to try that. This
And they've
year.
said they also talk about how it doesn't bolt as quick as this one, and you can totally see the difference in bolting. So what is the variety called? This one's called Emerald Towers Everleaf. That's a good tip.
with these are older herbs that I just
This is mint and some creeping oregano.
This is oregano, and this should be sweet marjoram.
This is you call them visitors?
I call them visitors because if I didn't plant it came up on its own.
I call them volunteers.
Volunteers or visitors, yes.
That's cool.
Volunteers.
Yeah, and we looked it up. It's supposed to be a native plant to North America.
Yes, you see, like this coleus.
Yep,
It's a volunteer.
that's great.
And
Why not, right? They are coming up on their own. They're usually the ones that do best.
yes,
I saw you have a huge eggplant down here.
yes, these are Italian eggplants. This is an Italian brand. And this
Look at
one
the size of this one over here.
that's really big. It's gone to seed, but
Yeah.
it came out yellow. Like these two are ready to harvest.
Yeah.
This one never got purple. It went straight to yellow.
Oh, weird.
So I just left
So
it.
it kind of went.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the same thing with these two.
Yeah. You can totally eat them like that too. They're just a bit more seedy.
I don't know, but we're gonna find out. But this is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, those are great.
Yes. I have.
And you have some yellow pear tomatoes.
Yes.
These are great. Good size too. And you have some more tomatoes in the back, I see, in those planters.
These were just random tomato plants that I ran out of space to put,
Okay.
and I didn't have the heart to kill them, so I just threw them back there.
We never have the heart to kill them. We rather put them into the ground.
Yes. Cucamelon.
Yeah, Mexican gherkin or cucamelons.
Yes. Patty pan squash.
Yeah, you have one here that was from.
That's this year, but it was the only one that survived out of the other plant. The plant I experienced squash bugs for the first time this
Squash
year.
bugs, yeah. They're
Yes.
always a problem. And you have a reef or some sorts of tomato here. What's going on
This is
here?
Roma tomato.
Roma
and
tomato.
I got it in late.
Yeah.
So I really don't expect anything.
But I do see
you
some up
see-
there, but
you
they
see-
might not have enough time to ripen.
Can you see that?
Oh yeah, I see them right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, those look good.
So I'm just gonna leave them until as long as I can.
Yeah, sometimes we don't see a frost until like the middle of October.
Yeah,
So it might
so-
be good. I love this little trellis you have going on here.
This is actually 2 trellises because
Yeah.
I grew black-eyed peas this year.
Okay.
And
On
they
this?
I started it here.
Yeah. Did you have a good season for black-eyed peas?
It was pretty good,
Okay.
but I started it against the back,
Okay.
and then I put this trellis up, and they went kind of, but in the back they started going higher. And I
okay.
read that black-eyed peas, if they don't sense there's someplace to climb, they stop.
Okay.
So I had this extra, and we just wound it
It's
across
super
back
tall.
this way, and they came, as you can see, the brown leaf up there.
Yeah, it was all the way up
came
there.
Pretty far.
Yeah. And you have okra growing underneath.
Yes, this is okra that was put in again.
So we were talking about how these are a little bushy.
Yes, the okra was, again, it was put in late. I had grown it from seed, and I didn't have any place to put it, and then I finally found room, and it was like late July, almost August, so I didn't expect anything.
But it's producing. I see them.
It's starting to produce.
Yeah.
And I just got to get in the habit of coming out to see earlier. It seems to be doing better with it being cool.
Yeah.
Like these small ones back here, they're going to produce.
You got to harvest them every other day. I also have a passion for Canna Lilies.
I just bought them for the first time.
I love Canna Lilies. And these are some red looking ones. They
Oh,
look
yeah, you
great.
see the thing.
Yeah, they look great. Over here you have a few other pots. You told me you have rhubarb growing in here.
This rhubarb.
Those are huge pots.
Actually, they were inexpensive.
Really? And you have the tower garden going on in here.
Yes.
You told me you set this up just recently.
Yes. I did this beige one. I set up to the summer, and pretty much everything died. I had beans in here. Everything died, and these are the few pepper plants that survived.
You have serranos or jalapenos?
Yes.
Serrano.
Yes.
Yeah, these look good.
So
and then you have some other things in here. Oh, these are also peppers.
Yeah, those were the survivors.
Wow.
What's in here now, I just planted, like the lettuce,
Spinach.
spinach, the radishes. I planted that in the last week. And
Did you buy starter plants?
I did buy
Yeah,
some
those are
plants.
starter plants. And these look beautiful. This is kale.
Yes, this is 3 different types of kale. Black magic, curly leaf. Curly leaf is down here, white Russian.
White Russian. I'm familiar with the red Russian. I think it's red. Or white, yeah?
I got a tag in here someplace.
And then you
Yeah,
have
here
the
it is, white.
Lacinata. Yeah, I've never heard of the white Russian.
White Russian,
That's cool.
black magic,
Yeah,
and
curly
this is
kale.
curly kale.
How do you like to cook your kale? Or how do you eat your kale?
I like to cook it mixed in with collard greens.
Okay, so like a mixture.
Yes. One of the projects that I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to broadcast some veil collard green seeds. It's
Out in the
55
yard?
in this bed over here.
Okay.
Because it's a 55-day growth period, which is pretty short. Growth period, which is pretty short, so I should be able to have some for Thanksgiving.
55-day collard greens. That's fast.
That's what it says on the package, but because this year, I started my winter garden a little late, but for some reason, finding collard starter plants is very difficult.
Yeah, it's hard to find them for sure.
You know, I mean, on my list of things to do this weekend was to go to Merrifield because I heard they had some.
Collard greens.
But you could get kale everywhere, but
Yeah, collard greens are not a typical starter plant that you see. So I see behind you here, you have a trellis of
loofah.
loofah.
It goes this way.
Let's go see it. You're proud of your loofah?
Yes, this year I grew them from seed.
Okay, that's
And
great.
I had 2 different kinds of seed.
Yeah, I can see you have 2 different types of loofah. You have that one that is kind of smooth, and then this one that is kind of like star shaped.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I didn't think that they would come out. Because
So what you just
in June.
so you use them for the sponge itself?
Yes.
You don't eat the young ones.
No. Just for the sponges.
Yeah.
The problem with the loofah is at this time of the year I check the weather every single day.
Yeah.
Because you got to get it off before it freezes.
Yeah, it
'Cause
messes with the sponge.
Once
Yeah.
it freezes, the plant this just turns to
Mush.
mush.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So you get it off the vine the day before it freezes,
Yeah.
and it's a process of drying it in the house.
Right.
Because
It can get moldy too.
yes.
Yeah.
So, next year I'm going to start my loofah in April,
Indoors. Yeah.
outdoors in April,
Outdoors in April.
because I want it to be at this stage in late July, early August.
Yeah, so you have enough time to
that-
cure
it'll
it.
dry on the vine.
That's great. Yeah. And you see, I saw some squash in here as well.
Yes.
Underneath, I see some honey nut. There's some over here on the fence. Let's see
the
those.
honey nut squash, I planted at the same time I planted the loofah, and it took off. And the loofah just struggled. That's why I was surprised to actually see that I had some loofah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It struggled all when it was hot.
I love the trellis, by the way.
Struggle.
That's beautiful.
The trellis goes around, but
And that's just kettle panel, right?
yeah. But this is my most unique invention.
Yeah. Well, you have an umbrella underneath.
Yes.
And what are you doing there?
Before I could afford to get the cattle panel.
Oh, you had that
I
instead.
had this umbrella that I was going to throw away.
Uh-huh.
And I got some rolls of that green wire, cheap wire
Yep,
stuff.
yep.
And I tied
You made
it
a
at the
trellis
top
out of it.
and tied it at the bottom.
Oh, that's a good
That was my
idea.
homemade trellis.
Yeah, excellent.
Because I didn't have anything. I could, you know, you gotta be inventive sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So you also have a beautiful plant here in this pot.
This is my 5-year-old sage.
5-year-old.
Yes.
It looks beautiful.
And I don't do much to it.
Yeah, they are perennial to our area.
Yes.
They do
So-
great. And I see this little greenhouse. Tell me a little bit about the project going on in here.
Well, all of my pepper plants were attacked by deer, so I didn't get hardly any peppers. And I read about overwintering. So
Yeah, so you're trying it out this year.
I'm gonna try it out, but I don't know if it's gonna work. If I have the room inside this shed, I would like to try to transfer it there, but I gotta get some work done to it, like a window installed, electricity.
Oh, it doesn't have any of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But it's worth giving a try for sure.
Yes, this is my latest invention for in here.
These are sweet potatoes.
Yes, the tubs.
That's a big tub.
These tubs are for cows.
Yeah,
and
troughs.
horses.
Yeah.
They're troughs, and they can be very expensive.
Yeah.
But you can find them used and cheap. But you gotta be diligent about looking for them.
Okay. Yeah.
Looking for them.
And you haven't dug them out yet, so we don't know how many sweet potatoes you have in there.
They don't come out until like November sometime.
That's a question I get a lot. Like, when do you harvest your sweet potatoes? So you do yours end of November?
Yeah, sometime in November.
I do them right before the frost or immediately after a frost.
You said,
Look at this beautiful
okra
that we have here.
But look at the red okra right there.
Oh yeah, that one. We were admiring this one earlier.
Yes.
Purple okra. So what do you do with your okra?
Nothing.
You're not eating it?
I like the flowers. I really like the flowers.
Yeah.
I have friends who eat okra.
Yeah.
And
so you're growing them for friends mostly?
I mostly give it away to people that eat it.
That's good.
But, I'll show you my volunteer tomatoes.
Okay.
This is a volunteer. I didn't plant it.
Yeah.
All the tomatoes that you see up here that grew in this bed are all volunteers. I don't plant them.
They just come up every year from the same seed? I can see why.
Seeds. I let the seeds drop. I
Yep.
just let them drop.
Yep.
And in November sometime, I will cover this with potting soil
Yep.
or composted manure. Just cover it and leave it.
And then you get the same type every year to come up.
Germination? It started off with cherry, red cherry, and orange, and it's like a combination because
It's a huge trellis.
Yes, I had to build. If you see this bed right here,
Yeah.
I actually moved this bed here.
Yeah, from a different place where you were at before. You told me.
These are garden blocks from Home Depot.
Yeah, you can move those around easy.
You can move them. You can take them with you.
I've never seen them in like someone's yard. So you put a piece of rebarb in the center
if you
to
go
hold
over
it.
Two, that help, that you need
help,
that to hold
help
it.
them keep together.
Yes,
And then
you
you
just
just
put a 2x6 in. It slides in. That's it.
That's so easy.
Yes, but this is the back side of the bed. That you
Yeah,
saw from the front.
this is nice.
And like I said, those are all volunteers.
Yeah.
But this plant is a volunteer too.
That's huge.
I did not plant this.
Yeah, tomatoes are good for being volunteers, I found.
Yes.
What
I find with the volunteers is if you look down here, look at the depth of the thickness of the
They're
roots.
really thick, yeah.
Yes, it's because it had to survive on its own.
Yeah.
I don't give it anything.
So
I don't give it anything.
they're the survival of the fittest, right? So they're the fittest.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are my fish tomatoes.
Okay.
And as you can see,
It's a big yellow tomato.
yes.
Oh, don't drop it.
Between 6.5 to 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I plant fish underneath them.
Where'd you get the fish from?
I go to the market up here, Best Way.
Yeah.
And I get a bucket of fish guts.
Fish guts, and then you put that underneath.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
You dig your hole about 2 feet deep. You throw your guts in there, and you need lime. You throw your lime in there, and you cover it up with...
What's the lime for?
For the smell.
Oh,
For
okay.
the smell, and it helps it decompose.
Okay, and then you get nice free fertilizer, except for the lime that you have to buy probably.
Yes, you plant, you put the dirt in on the top of it, and you put in a starter plant, and the roots are usually about 4 inches.
Yeah.
So what happens is what happens is if this is the top of the soil,
Yeah.
and here's your plant, and here's your dead fish.
Yep.
By the time the roots get here, the dead fish are liquid.
Liquid gold, liquid fertilizer.
Gold. Yes, and what happens? It prevents
Bottom end rot
bottom end rot.
Yeah.
I never have bottom end rot
on the guys you do that with.
because of the fish fertilizer.
Check out this beautiful tomatoes growing here. You have so many cherry tomatoes.
Like
Do you love cherry tomatoes?
No, they're all volunteers.
So what do you do with all the tomatoes that come out of your garden?
Actually, I give them to friends. Important thing that I do is once a year, the women of my church, we have Women's Day and we sing.
Okay.
And I take this whole thing, as many of these up there, and there's enough cherry tomatoes for every woman to walk away with from 1 to 2 pounds of tomatoes.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So you're growing it for others, basically.
Almost all the tomatoes except for the yellows are for others because they all give me indigestion.
Oh yeah, you said that the yellow ones,
they don't give me indigestion.
the yellow ones are like low acidity.
Low acid. Yes.
That's great.
So I grew potatoes in here.
And what was these buckets for?
These had peppers.
Peppers. Oh, the ones that eaten.
Decimated.
Yeah, and then you have more raised beds over here.
Those are. I'm waiting for my garlic to arrive.
Oh yeah, your garlic seed.
Yes, my garlic seed arrived and it's going there.
That's good.
I grew some different types of beans here that grew up the trellis. Purple hold pink-eyed peas here.
Peas or beans?
Peas.
Oh wow.
Like black-eyed peas.
Yeah.
And then this here is, it's decomposed from just sitting outside.
Yeah.
And I can plant in it. And I might actually
Potatoes or what?
I can put collards, anything, because
Okay. Those are just like hay bales and then a little bit of compost.
not even no compost.
Oh.
It's hay bales, and then in the summer I put some black blood meal over the top of it and let it wash it.
Okay.
Now you could do that over the course of 14 days and force it to decompose.
Okay.
I just threw it when I felt like it
Okay.
and let it sit. And now what's happened, the inside is completely composted.
So you can grow any sort of plant on here.
I can
you're
grow
saying.
anything I want.
I've seen this method for potatoes and sweet
Yes.
potatoes.
And-
But right now you're saying you can plant anything in it.
Yes, but the best value of letting this sit like this is as you turn your dirt and you get ready for the next year, and you have to, it saves me a lot of money
Yeah.
because I don't have to buy cocoa cord.
Yeah, that you use that instead.
Yes, I got all this rotten hay.
That's good. And that's like $5 for like a bale or
Yeah,
something.
they're like $12. So I'll use it, get it tilled in and turned in
Yeah.
all over my garden.
That's great.
This bed right here has some from the last of it from
The straw, you mean?
straw.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it makes it fluffy.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
this is real. Oh, I saw a potato there.
Yeah. So
Another
when
one.
I grew, yes. I grew potatoes here.
This is nice and soft.
It's nice and soft and it's not hard, and because potatoes don't like compact dirt.
Yeah, they don't like compact
So
soil.
that's the beauty of doing that. Broccoli, cauliflower, kale,
This,
these 2 beds.
so this is like your fall winter vegetable garden
Yes.
here. And then over here, I see rain barrels too.
Yes. Right here is, I grew this squash last year, and this, I didn't get anything, but it was everywhere.
Okay.
And the root system is really deep. So we're gonna cut it back and see what happens next year.
Okay, great.
These are my peanuts that I grow on an annual basis for a friend of mine at church who's from Mississippi.
He loves peanuts, huh?
Yes. And
Or
I've
she.
never seen them.
You've never seen the peanuts?
No. Because every year he comes over and he just takes them out the ground. So this year I told him, I threatened him bodily harm if he takes them. I just want to see them.
Yeah, you've
I
never
don't
seen
mind
it.
growing them.
Yeah.
I just want to see them.
Yeah, well, we should dig some up and see them.
Well, I can't even tell you if they're done.
Yeah,
He
no,
tells
no,
me.
I don't think they're not done yet.
I don't think that they're done. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but
Yeah.
that's all his thing. So I do
Great.
this for him, and you know, him and his family have been very supportive to me because it's just me and my son, and I don't have extended family here.
Yeah.
So they kind of like adopted us. So
Wow.
this is my yearly gift to them.
Yeah, nice little peanuts.
Peanuts. And then I have my rain barrels.
Those are beautiful rain barrels. Do you get them to fill up much or no?
They do fill up.
I found that having the hose like that, it takes forever for them to fill. So I actually just cut the gutter and put the gutter into the thing so that they fill faster.
Well, I haven't had too much success with these two, but everything is a work in progress.
Yeah, of course. Every year in the garden is a learning experience.
Yeah, you learn something new, you change something. Every year you change something.
So you were telling me you have a little bit of back problems.
I have back problems, I have hip problems, I have knee problems.
So you have a little something to work in the garden.
I have a scooter.
Nice
I have
little
multiple
scooters. Okay.
And the scooter works like this. You can
That's
scoot
nice.
it.
Is that built for like gardening? Or
It is
yeah.
for gardening.
Oh wow.
But
Where did you get that one from?
You could get them on Amazon. They can be kind of expensive, so I look for used ones.
Okay. On like
It's
Facebook
brand
Marketplace.
Brand new, they're about $125.
Okay.
You get your scooter and you take it to a mechanic,
Yeah.
just like you do your car.
Oh yeah.
In the spring, I take it to the mechanic so they can do the wheels.
Ah,
And
nice.
then they put lube stuff in
Yeah.
here. And
And then you're ready to go.
when I have to do things, you know, like I said, I got a bad back, I got bad knees. It
Yeah.
helps me stand up.
Hey, that's interesting.
I can-
And I noticed too that you have a lot of raised beds, and it's probably because of your
Yes,
back.
because of my back.
So that's why you're doing mostly raised beds.
Yeah, so I can turn it, I can turn the wheels, and I can make this thing scoot in a circle.
That's
That's
great.
what I want.
And it has a little thing in the back to be carrying things.
Yeah, to carry
which is
a
nice.
few things.
Yeah.
But I rented the scooter because a lot of people who have physical disabilities feel like they can't garden.
Yeah, that's important to show them that you can.
You can.
Yes.
You can with a little help.
Yeah.
Depending on, you know, these beds are only 10 inches high,
Yeah.
but that metal one over there is almost 40 inches high.
Yeah, so you can be standing no problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Depending on your disability, you get the bed that works for your disability.
Yeah, you build it to your
Yes.
need, or you buy it according to your need.
Yes, but you can, because like just filling up that bed with those plants, that's about 45 minutes.
It's
I
a
couldn't have
that's
stood there
that's
for
a that's a hard one to do because of the height. You're not neither standing nor
Yes,
nor
but I can sit down with my scooter
yeah
and just scoot along.
yeah, and then you
Plant.
plant it, and it
Plant.
takes 45 minutes to plant that bed.
It took me 45 minutes.
Wow,
That's it.
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, but I could do it sitting.
Yeah,
So it didn't hurt.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt. I mean,
you find ways to figure out how to do your hobby.
if you want to do this, you will find a way. I have a fascination with how something like this becomes this.
Oh yeah, one tiny seed becomes something so large.
Yes.
So you like that's why you grow.
It's part of, and I like to feed people and give people things that they can't find that are uncommon. Like I have a request to grow rue and borage. I don't
Yeah.
even know what rue is.
I don't know.
what borage is. But people ask me to grow it, so I'll find a spot in my garden to grow it for somebody who really wants it from their home country or whatever.
So you're growing for other people.
Sometimes most of it is for other people, and you know, to bring a little bit of happiness, and you know, some of it of course is for me, but I like the way other people appreciate it. And you know, fresh food is so expensive, so
It shouldn't be too expensive, right? We should be all able to grow something in our yards or
Yes.
in a balcony.
yeah. So when I take a seed like this, you know, the seeds for the collard greens are even tinier than this tomato seed. But what you're gonna go to the store and try to buy for Thanksgiving started off from something this small.
Right. A lot of people don't know
Yes.
how things grow.
And it's, you know, it takes people like me and the big farmers that are growing it for you And we get joy knowing we don't have to see you, but we know you got it, and we know you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
So we know that's how
That gives you your joy.
Yeah, it brings joy. It brings a lot of joy. A cattle paddle and there's sweet potatoes in, and that's bamboo.
Yeah.
And this time of the year, Fairfax County has made having bamboo in your yards illegal.
Yep.
So people give it to you, so
Yep.
you don't have to buy it. So you can make all sorts of trellises
Yep.
that you want
Yep.
by going to get the bamboo.
Yep.
Yourself.
And I see a compost pile back there too.
Yes, that's mine. That's my compost pile, but it doesn't work well because I have to pay somebody to turn it. I don't have the strength to
But
turn
if you
it.
give it time, it will rot in place. Yeah.
It's
So
been there the whole time I've been here, so every once in a while I dig in the very front.
yeah, and then you get some out of
I
it.
get something
Yeah,
out
that
of
that
it.
works. That's totally
But the
good.
bamboo is, you know, if you have whatever you need to make, you don't have a lot of money. This
Bamboo is one of my best friends in my garden. I
Yeah.
use it a lot.
and that's just
I have really enjoyed my time here in your garden. And literally we just met, what, maybe 2 hours ago?
yes.
Because we were looking at another spot that we might turn into a community garden. Who knows what's going to happen with that, but she invited me over to her yard, and I always like connecting with other gardeners. We were talking about this earlier, and sometimes gardening can be very lonely because you're in your garden and you're in the backyard most of the time. People don't see what you're doing. But hey, leave us a comment down below if you would like us to come see your garden and talk about gardening, because we would love to connect with other gardeners here in Fairfax, Virginia. Andrea, what do you think you want to say to people as some last thoughts on anything?
that you shouldn't be afraid. You could grow anything, even if you go do the thing of what they call romaine lettuce in a red solo cup.
Mhm.
You just need some seeds, 2 solo cups, and a handful of dirt.
So you can get started very easy,
You get
very
started,
simply.
yeah, with one little thing. Don't be afraid of it. It's sustaining, and you know, you never know what's gonna happen in this world. One day you might need to know how to grow some food.
Very true.
So it's a life lesson. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of my garden, and you're welcome to reach out to the camera guy here, and if you want to come yourself and see it, or you need some help, because gardening is a community collaborative event. You know, I didn't learn all this. I know it. I mean, I had to learn it, trial and error, and looking at other people's stuff.
Yeah, you just learn by doing. In gardening, you can learn just by experiencing it.
Yeah,
You don't need to know much.
Yeah, epic failure could turn out to be something great.
Exactly.
You know, but thanks a lot, and we'll see you again.
Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right, bye-bye.